First, we are going to climb up that hill.
That's a fort?
That hill here, the fortress. See?
Yeah.
We are going to start there. Why? And the beginning of this city is measured 8,000 years. How do we know that? We have archaeological trench there, 6 meters down, and 4 reconstructed houses from the Neolithic period. From that time on, Skopje did not change the name. I'm going to quote you all the names in history written about the name of this place. So, first, Romans. In Roman time, this was Skopje. After that, in medieval ages, it was Skopje. In the time of Ottomans, it was Skup, and today it is Skopje. So, Skup is the key word. By etymology, the key word explains things. What does it mean? Skup. Translated in English, gathering together. Why it was in a Neolithic period gathering together here? Because 70 Neolithic settlements are around this center, and the main temple is just here. And I'm going to show you also the remains of Neolithic temple that is not touched by anything from that time on. Even the children cannot be there.
Okay.
That's the design is completely from Le Corbusier. The magic is Le Corbusier did not know, never have an idea, and then he died, and he don't know that his marvelous design is executed here, because it is done about 25 years after he was dead. Who did that? Group of Polish architects. They didn't know that they designed under the project of Le Corbusier. That's magic. Do you know how can it be explained? This is the story. So, the students, when they are taught architecture, the beautiful paint called the wreckage of hope. Then you remember that. And from here, again, it comes in your head as it is your idea. So there is a hermeneutic everywhere, esoteric. Everything is here. We don't invent. We only remember. That is the point. That is why we are here in Skopje. Let's continue.
What did you say the name of the
Museum of Contemporary Art.
Okay.
It is a
Are
gift.
we going to go there and see?
It is not on our tour, but it doesn't matter if you have time and if we have time. Magic is that everything is there before it is built. It is a saying among high professional architects throughout history. So that is an example. The peak of this mountain have a name, Krstovar. Translated in English, it's the area of cross. According to the archaeology, there was nothing there. Because before you dig here anything, try to build, archaeology come, have a research, and decided whether it is possible to be built here or not. So they say there's nothing there, you can build a cross. But the cross appeared thousands of years after the name was there. So it was built at the moment when the name come there. Baptizing, giving a name to someone, is the longest ceremony in the religion. You go more than 1 hour, you're circling around the fountain. then you got a name.
Are we going up there?
No, it's too far. You have only time to see some things walking in the center part. It's okay.
Yeah.
Religion ever in Europe is called religion of Mother Goddess. It was monotheistic religion spread throughout all Europe, and it lasted 7,000 years. What is important about that religion? That religion provoked no war ever in Neolithic period. That is why, because central part and the oldest Neolithic is here on this geography, according to the book, the only one monography about European Neolithic from Professor Maria Gimbutas. I am quoting her. She says, it is a fake sentence to say that if you don't have war, you don't have approval and going ahead with a higher step in technology. So it is not the technology, it is a killing people. That is why Maria Gimbutas in her book says, yes, it is possible to have civilization without war. And it is not that the people know only about war. Why do we say that? Because we don't teach history in schools. We teach history of war only.
So
And
true.
we have a fake idea
Yes.
about what was going on in the world. So it's tiny part, the war, that we are going to compare with the image of Alexander the Great, because he is venerated as a warrior. He is totally out of it.
I
So
started.
part of the citadel from Justinian the lawmaker. Justinian is the one who wrote Roman law, not August, not Caesar, not Krach, brother, nobody. He is the one who wrote that. Because they do have in Roman time law, but that law was one for Alexandria, one for Rome, third for Antiochia, for Constantinople, and so on, depending on the geography and tradition. He made the book that we call Born in Skopje. He is the one who built this wall on this city as a reward, a remembering for the city where he was born, because the city was under the earthquake 518. And it was a catastrophic, all the cities in Macedonia were devastating. After that, Justinian decided, I'm going to rebuild the city where I was born. So this is a citadel from that time.
This is called the Citadel of
No,
Skopje.
that is a citadel of Skopje, and we call it fortress. You have on a map, everywhere is marked as a fortress, because it is not only from the time of Justinian. We have also the stones from the time of Philip II. That means 4th century before Christ. So all possible. You have Neolithic here. And Neolithic means that the continuum of the inhabitants is still going on here. How do we know that? Because the patron of civilization of Neolithic, Mother Goddess, is still today patron of Skopje. We venerate
really?
that Mother Goddess.
That's very
Now
interesting.
it is only Mary have a name, but that is Mother Goddess. So in continuum, the same patron covers the city. Like in Tarsus in Turkey, Hercules is a patron of Tarsus. St. Paulus was born there. and the most important mosque is there because this is sacred place. And on the sacred place, you build temple. Let's visit. Yeah, this was built in 19th century for remembering
For
that the
remembering
church
that?
was there. Saint Savior, sometimes it refers to Jesus, but sometimes it refers to Constantine, because the Constantine was one who removed the ban over Christianity in Roman times. He was the one who says, okay, that the religion could be equal. It is not the one who promoted as the only one religion in the empire. After that, Theodosian did that, and he wrote that in the city of Skopje in Macedonia, about 100 kilometers south from Skopje. Building churches during Ottoman time, that there was a rule in order to humiliate Christianity, tell them if they want to build the church to make it down there a few steps so they can be like humiliated, pushed down. But that is a fake story because there are a lot of churches in where there are steps down to enter into the church before the idea of Islam. So we do have that kind of church. We call them churches that they go down there to be closer to the underworld. So they are grave churches.
We just walked down from historical places, the fortress, and now this is the bazaar where I picked up some souvenir from here. And Skopje is known for pearls. So here there's a pearl shop, and here is the guide and the national.
This here is old market, and that is a style. This market looks totally different. There are few huge hotels and caravanserais and very big covered market, Kapalı Çarşı, like in Istanbul. So it was like that. But the Ottoman Empire was in decay in order not to have economy with big companies. They started with small one and allowed people to build their shops around the huge buildings. Was there in Skopje, in the monastery of Saint George. And now on that, designed by Justinian when he started to rebuild the city where he was born. Up there, it is, we already been there, it is the citadel. The citadel for the government. On the opposite side there is another hill. On the another hill it's a religious center. And on the religious center on the top was the monastery of St. George with the largest library next to the library of the mountain Aton, now in northern Greece. Previous Roman bath, but it was not even that the Roman invented baths. Baths existed in every civilization before that. Do you know what is the difference between Macedonian ancient bath and Roman? Macedonian built bath where the source is. Roman did artificially hit the water.
This was a hotel before. Now it's an art school or university. It's, different kinds of arts are taught in this place. And here is the guide and the official from the National Bank of Macedonia.
Let's finish the story here,
Okay.
and let's visit one of our best painters ever. The frame 20.
Oh, I would love to see the painters'
Okay.
exhibition
Yeah,
or
yeah.
gallery because I love to paint.
The second is the best politician ever in ancient world before Christ. In competition with Augustus, Julius Caesar, Hannibal Barca, Alexander the Great, Peter, Darius, Xerxes, all important kings and politicians, he was chosen to be the best according to the library in Alexandria. The same commission that decided about 7 wonders of the world. So he is Macedonian city should be built by plan. The cities at the time of Philip were far more civilized than Athens.
How did he paint
I'm going to tell
the
you that, but
concept of
I have to
war?
quote this
Okay.
because I'm not the one who said it.
No.
Follow Louis Mumford, City in History. He is the one that I'm quoting, not myself. So by serious architects and historians, this guy is the best politician. This is top ranked politician in ancient times. How did he change the urban plan? Change like this. Making cities by plan. He is the one who uses the plan of Hippodamus from Milet, not Athenians. He is the one who used that plan. Pella was built according to the plan of Hippodamus. Kondowski, that's the name. And this is an affiche for theater. See how marvelous it is.
This is painted by him,
Yeah, painted by him. Very interesting.
and all these are his paintings.
Yeah. Oh, and there are more. It is not a style, it's a technique. How instead of washing wall with paint, you make a picture of it. And there are different techniques. I don't want to explain in details, but they are the part of a canon, how you are going by canon make a good church, a proper church. This painter is famous. Exist in history.
Dark Ages does not exist.
Does
in
not
this.
exist in reality. In fabric of reality, there are no dark ages. But according to the official history, there are dark ages necessary for that historian to calculate and to provoke a new story that is only benefit to them. But it is far away from the truth. That is not fabric of reality. That is why they provoke dark ages before Christ in order to make some people so important that they are all, by definition, Superman. They know everything. Art, scientists, architecture, theater, and so on. That is not true. That is why they need dark ages in order to cut the line of memory to the student. And they say, yeah, and at that moment everything crashed, and they started again because they cannot make a
And what was
continuation.
before the Dark Ages? What do they say?
About Dark Ages.
No, before that?
Before that, for example, Dark Ages after the Trojan War. Trojan War, 12th century before Christ, and the New Age becoming 6th century before Christ. So it was before Christ 1200 and 600 before Christ. That is 600 years of Dark Ages. And what happened in that Dark Ages? Before that, that chosen people knew everything to communicate, trade, have a language, have a letter, read, write, anything. But suddenly something appeared and they forgot everything. 600 years, they forgot that they know how to write, read, communication, and so on. And after 600 years, they again started a new civilization, remembered how to do that. A lot of stupid things in front of young students and children. That is, I'm quoting a school book from one university in the United States. And that's the story.
So now they have washed out the Dark Ages and no Dark Ages anymore.
Because it was a lot of criticism about that definition, Dark Ages in Europe. Now, the officials who produced fake history, now they are going to wash that and they are going to provoke a new idea. It was not Dark Ages. Yes, it was like this history. They have come to the extreme here in Macedonia. They banned history lessons from primary and secondary school.
But who took this? Is it a government policy or?
Government. It's not government. Our government should do what somebody tell them to do. We
Who's
don't
telling them? Who's
have
telling them?
Government. We don't have that. That's definite. You see what is happening around us. But that's something out of my profession. So don't ask. He picks up here, there, from other papers. Here you can see that in my grade. You can see that he was provoked by Belgian painter. You see the lamination of this looks like a glass, but it is not. It's a part of a book that laminates. Oh, marvelous.
Famous stone bridge of Skopje and built
Usually
by
they call like that.
It's a Justinian.
Justinian, he is the one who first built it.
Okay.
This is the family, Alexander and the mother. His childhood goals covered by.
Skopje is known as city of statues. There are many statues everywhere.
Absolutely. That was the idea, to have the museum in open.
Open museum.
One square, yes. One square, one monument, the museum gallery.
But that's a good idea, I think. But why is it so controversial?
That is what happened. Alexandria was like that. Constantinople was like that. Rome was like that. And Kiev is like that today. So it is exhibition in open. So you can see the history crystallized in front of your eyes. This is a very important monument that the story you should hear. Cyrillus and Methodius. They are European saints by the edict of Pope John Paul II. So they are venerated saints, guardians of the earth. What is important about them? It is important Cyrillus and Methodius started first European Renaissance. Not in Italy, in 14th century.
So where?
Here in 9th century. How?
But no one talks about it.
Yeah, the scholars said that. Andrew Graham, Dixon, Nikolai Okunev, Kurt Weizmann, and so on. So they say that. It is not easy to change the school books. So Saint Cyrillus and Methodius, they are brothers. They started the first Renaissance in Europe because Renaissance in Italy started with changing the alphabet used in written language. So Dante Alighieri, Francesco Petrarca, Giovanni Boccaccio, they were rebellions and they say, we don't want anymore to read and write Latin. We are going to do it Italian because that is a language of the people. And I'm not doing my novels for 3 or 4 scholars here. Everyone should do that. And that is the starting point of Renaissance. The same in 9th century, not in 14th, 15th century, started these guys. Because they say, all languages are God's languages. And they succeed in front of 12 cardinals to have approval about that. That was open gate for Martin Luther 600 years after. That is how Martin Luther translated the Bible in German. Otherwise it is not, because the exception was done before that by Catholic Church. You understand? So the real Renaissance is rationality. And after that, that went on in architecture, in art, and in music, and so on. That's the same cycles in Italy, but later. And that
That's
part,
interesting. We
that
didn't
part
know
in
about
official
it.
history, you don't know that, but you know this. In official history, that period is called Macedonian Renaissance. But that is something like it was old in Middle Ages, and this is starting point of a new something. That is why the most prominent syntagma is Italian Renaissance. But you have that Renaissance here, and it is in all school books everywhere, faculties, the secondary schools. Everybody knows Macedonian Renaissance. That is.
I'm interested in knowing how did he go to the mountains?
I'm going to show you the caves of the monks, and they are marked with crosses. 60 are there. So we do have now monasteries for monks and for nuns, and monks go there to meditate. Meditation is the verb in English. Macedonian verb is sozercirani, zerkani, looking inside of you. That is translation of our verb.
You know, this is in Gita, in Bhagavad Gita. The God is within us. Now, God is everywhere. God is.
Dream that appeared in front of him in his dream when he was in Constantinople in a common room. After that, he was afraid from the dream and went to meditate on that dream in mountain, in a cave. A monk become. Quit the professor cathedra. When he comes back, he goes to his teacher to explain what happened, and the teacher approved it was God's word, not Satan. And after that, he followed the story and helped that instead of only 3 languages, 4th language was involved as God's language. That was the language that people are using still today, and it is commonly called Slav language. So they are not saints who give letter, alphabet to Slavs, because Slav already have that alphabet.
So somewhere here is Mother Teresa's house. She was born here.
Yeah. She was baptized.
She was baptized here.
So the story starts here. This was executed about 10 years before the house was built.
Okay, when was the house built?
The house was finished 2008.
Okay, so not too long ago.
Not long.